is really struggling. So, ain't nobody watching yet, but that's fine. Today's Saturday, October 5th. 17 years ago, what was I doing? I was awake. I was taking a shower. It was 190 degrees outside. I was getting ready to go to a luncheon. And today, I was getting married. Oh, Ellen Hogan is watching. Ellen Hogan is also getting married today. Happy wedding day, Ellen. So exciting. Getting married on your anniversary. I know. Oh. Yeah, we thought we'll get married in October. It'll be so cool. Well, remember how it was 2 days ago? Hot as hell. Of course, now we're at the beach. It's cold. Yes. So this is why I'm in my bed, happy with my computer, and Bojangles. Spending my anniversary. Now, my husband, the other part of the equation, is playing tennis because that's what he likes to do. I like Bojangles, and he likes tennis. So we compromised. We're both doing what we want to do. Love the t-shirt. Free Adrian. So the t-shirt, yes, for my supporters. If you're a supporter, you had an opportunity to order some t-shirts. They will be ordered on Monday. Pay your invoices if you're out there. So you can do that. Let's see. I hadn't done like a big public video in a while. You know, for a minute, I was like, I'm going to do Tuesdays with Tails. Not just for my supporters, my, people that pay $5 a month, but for everybody. Well, I promptly forgot because my life is a shit show and I forget things and I'm drowning in like soccer. So anyway, all four of my children are playing soccer. And maybe like one of them likes it. Maybe two. Amos does not. Amos and soccer is a funny combo. He does love being out there, but he don't play soccer. He runs around. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of news, though, to catch up with. Lots and lots of news. Where shall we start? Let's see. Let's start first with West Virginia. So what do you think of Bojangles pimento cheese? I didn't know they had pimento cheese. Life might have just taken on new meaning for me. How did I miss that? So in West Virginia, there was a hearing this week. Most of you know that I have been sued with several third-party complainants, is what they call them. I didn't know that was a word. For a collective sum of, $13.4 million. And so we filed our response this week, and there was a hearing on Wednesday. Now, the hearing was between... saw Amos this morning. So cute. Oh, was he at the air show? Amos is home with Mary, and Thomas and I are gone, and I think they were going to the air show this morning. I hope he liked it. West Virginia, hearing on Wednesday. The school board was filing a motion to dismiss some of the lawsuits against them, and then Amber Bachman, the principal at Berkeley Heights Elementary, who was principal at the time that the abuse happened, she also was filing a motion to dismiss the lawsuits against her brought on by the parents, the mothers, Casey Murphy and Amber Peck, who I love, for the record. Now, first, the judge, Faircloth. Let me just say, overall, my word from people that were at the hearing is that the judge did a great job, Laura Faircloth. She ran a tight courtroom. She didn't let people go off on tangents from either side. She really kept people together, and that was good. So for the school board, she dismissed 3 of 7 charges, 3 of 7 complaints, which my husband read through them, my alleged attorney husband. I think we've got to get a shirt that says alleged attorney, or I love the alleged attorney, something fun. So anyway, and one of them was like assault. Well, obviously a school system can't, I don't know why they would have filed a charge against, or a criminal, whatever, complaint against assault on a school system. A school board can't assault anyone as a group, right? So I think she was smart in what she dismissed. She did not dismiss the negligent charge, which was like number 3. So that's a big one. She said it's premature. We're not dismissing that. Good morning, Jennifer and Kelly. And so anyway, that's that. Well, then Amber Bachman, the principal, she has, 7 complaints too against her. and the judge dismisses 2. One was like a constitutional thing, and then one was something else. But Amber is still on the hook for right many of the complaints. And so that's good. I mean, I think some people might be like, well, why'd she dismiss things? But according to my source, the things that were dismissed made sense that they were dismissed, and a good judge would have dismissed them. So anyway, that's West Virginia. Thank you for all the people that have given me money for my legal fees. It is not your responsibility. I'm aware of that, but I really appreciate it because coming up with a lot of cash out of pocket is not exactly at the top of my list. So thank you, because I think it's important. So that's West Virginia in a nutshell. I don't know when my hearing will be. I know nothing. I know nothing. We filed a motion to dismiss based on personal jurisdiction, that West Virginia doesn't have jurisdiction over me. I think it's a pretty strong argument. Next hearing, Dorothy said, I have no idea. Nothing. I didn't even know the hearing was this week. It had been delayed, and then suddenly it wasn't delayed. So I don't know if like the plaintiffs said, well, we can't be there, and now we can, and they didn't want other people there. Who knows what games they're playing. But Amber Bachman, is currently working for the school system. Keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. So it's awfully convenient that they can keep her right down the hall, right? Because she said in an interview that Margaret Kersey, the former deputy superintendent, told her to destroy the recording. They don't want her saying that again. That's pretty damning. Anyway, so we'll see. Maybe my case will get dismissed. Maybe all the third-party complaints cases will get dismissed. That would be great, but I don't know. I do know I'm not going to settle because if at some point we say we're okay with teachers talking like this to children, we've really said, screw it, the whole world sucks to me. And I will tell you, and I told my supporters this a couple weeks ago, I had a mom from Wake County reach out to me. It's been about a month now. And she said, I sent a recorder with my child to school. And it wasn't a public school system. It was like a child care preschool program. And what I heard was terrible. And I'm thinking, well, what is she talking about? So she sends me clips of the recording. And it was very similar to West Virginia. Terrible. The way that these teachers were talking to children. And I said, well, what did you do? And she said, well, I went to, I reported them, right, to like Child Protective Services or somebody. And they said there wasn't enough evidence. And I said, well, they listened to those recordings? Well, no, I didn't give them the recordings because I don't want to get sued. And I said, you're not getting sued. In North Carolina, the Supreme Court has already ruled that if you do a recording like that, for the best interest of a child, you are totally allowed to. We're a one-party state, just like West Virginia. So here we had, and I didn't know her real name. I didn't know the child care center. I couldn't do anything about it except encourage her to go to the police with the recording. But I knew at that second that young children were in harm's way because this mom has been watching this case and thinks, well, I'll get sued if I share a recording. So anyway, I think that's not good. So there. So that's West Virginia. Now, the next topic is North Carolina education. So, and I know some of y'all are like, bleh. I know, it's so annoying, isn't it? It's annoying for me to have to talk about it in this way because I love my school system. I love my teachers. I love my principal. It's our superintendent that I don't love. And I wish I could like him. I wish we had a superintendent in North Carolina that I said, she is going to bat for you. Just like if it were Jen Mangrum. She cares. She may not be perfect. She may not do whatever, but she cares. And she is trying. I do not feel like that currently with Mark Johnson. So he shows up gangbusters last week in Greenville at Rose High School because he'd met this teacher. And I don't blame the teacher. I mean, good on her. She says, I need 100 iPads. So, bang, he shows up with a couple video cameras, some photographers, And he gives her 100 iPads, which to me is worth about $50,000 maybe. And all publicity, right? And it's funny because people in my district said, we had asked for some of those iPads when we heard that 3,200 something were in storage in August, and I never heard back from him. So everything is done with a motive. It's not just, we're going to do this. It's how it makes me look. So I write a letter. Well, the state board says to him the next day there's a meeting, and they said, we don't understand how you just decided to give this person 100 iPads. And he, blah, blah, blah. I've saved money and I can give these iPads away. Like, no, if you bought iPads and you want to give them to somebody, go have at it. But the taxpayers paid for these iPads, right? So the state board challenges him on this decision, and they said, well, what criteria do you have? How do you choose who gets the iPads and who doesn't? Now, granted, DPI a couple weeks ago said we've given out all the iPads, but now suddenly there are some. And he did buy 800 additional ones. He gave 200 to Ocracoke, 100 to this person. So that would mean maybe there are 500 left. And why in the hell did he buy them if he doesn't even know what he's doing with them? Anyway, it feels like Adrienne doing a giveaway on her blog. Once a month I give crap away to my supporters. But hello, it's not with tax dollars. So anyway, the state board challenges him. Well, I write him a letter and I said, I don't need any darn iPads. But we need help for Amos. We have no person that knows about autism in our school district, and we need help. Emily just said he's like Oprah. And, well, of course, he responds to the email. And the response to the email, I would rather have not gotten a response. It's almost like he did it to piss me off, which it did. You have a wonderful superintendent. Hello, I know this because I have a good relationship with our superintendent. And two, how do you know my superintendent? Your butt ain't never been to Chowan County or North Gates County. You don't come to northeastern North Carolina. You go for publicity. So my part of the state is out for you, right? And you've been invited several times to my county. You ain't never come. Then two, I've saved all this money with iPads. And I'm like, I just told you that I have a son with autism and he's in public school and we need help. And you're telling me about iPads? Are you kidding? Why are you doing that? It's offensive. Somebody's given you your heart or said, my child has cancer and I need help. And you're like, well, we have iPads. Not that autism is cancer, but anyway. And then he says to me, well, I'm going to reach out to DPI. So he does. So then the superintendent emails me and says, well, he's going to send his regional consultant to come. I'm sorry, a regional consultant is available to me any second I want them. And in fact, our teacher already had a conference call with a regional consultant on Monday. We don't need the regional consultant. We can do that on our own. I want the 100 iPad 50,000 bit. Seriously. People are freezing. Let me try to switch my internet. Hold on. Is that better? I don't know if that's better. You can see if it's better. So that's really annoying. And then it gets better. He goes on to say, P.S. in an email. P.S. We've started a kindness campaign to get rid of cyberbullies. And it would be really nice if you could share it. Do I look like I just fell off a turnip truck? I must. I kind of do today. Do I look like that? I feel like people think I look like that. I'm going to share a kindness campaign from somebody that can't just for one freaking second do their job. Holy shit. It pisses me off. Okay, I can't help that y'all's videos are freezing because I'm not in charge of your internet. I have a full signal. So you're out of luck. Anyway. Don't talk to me about kindness. Don't talk to me about kindness. Don't talk to me about iPads. iPads. Please, people, when you vote, if you live in North Carolina, you're going to get a chance to vote. Okay? You are going to get a chance to vote. Vote for whoever you want. I am voting for Jen Mangrum. You like somebody else, vote for them. Do not vote for him. Don't. For all that is good and kind and wonderful in this world, do not vote for Mark Johnson. Maybe that'll be my next shirt. Do not vote for Mark Johnson. I just cannot say that enough. And it's nothing personal. I'm sure he's a nice person. He's from Winston. I gave a big talk to a couple hundred people in Winston this past week to the junior league. And it's funny, they asked me, I wasn't going to talk about Mark Johnson because he's from Winston and I'm there speaking to a couple hundred people. And they're like, what should we look for in an educator? How do we decide? And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to talk about that. But I said, I'll tell you what, if I were you, what I would do when you vote for someone, look at what they've accomplished thus far. What have they done so far? Mark Johnson had never done anything. He made a lot of promises, but he had done nothing. So if you look at somebody like Jen Mangrum and you say, well, she taught in the classroom for 12 years. She started the elementary ed program at NC State. She's taught at UNCG. She's from a family of educators. She's run a campaign. She's done some things, okay? That's important. Now, blah, blah. So Amos, we have done a lot, or the teacher's doing a ton in the classroom to kind of get things organized for him. I'm trying to find an ABA therapist. I've gotten one lead of one person. And then Mary, who works for me, is spending the mornings at school helping kind of set things up and helping with him, kind of get him on task and target, because group times are really a struggle for him. And then we have a great speech therapist coming from Winston who trains on this, and she's coming just to be kind October 16th and spend the day in the classroom and kind of look at what's happening and make some recommendations. Like, that's the kind of superintendent I want. I don't need, just do something. Just be nice. Golly, kindness can't pay my ass. So anyway, so that's exciting. And he started, we went to Duke Autism Center this week, and he started Prozac. It's kind of a big deal to say that out loud. My 5-year-old takes Prozac. Oh, boy. All those I nevers will come back and bite you in the ass, won't they? Anyway. But yesterday, my son Thomas said, Mom, when are you going to give him his medicine? I said, well, I did like 5 minutes ago. He was like, it's not working. That's because it takes more than 5 minutes. Where everybody would be getting a squirt of Prozac with their Cheerios. Shit. The last thing is, and this is very exciting, or it's exciting for me. It might not be for y'all. I got an email yesterday that I have been chosen to do a TEDx talk. Yes. I'm so excited. So excited. It's December 13th in Cary at SAS. They have chosen 12 speakers. It's a big deal. They had over 100 apply. And I know one person that's also speaking because I worked with her on an event this spring. Her name is Michelle Granger. She's head of the Executive Farm Management Program at NC State. And so she sent me a text last night and was like, I'm speaking there too. So anyway, that's really fun. And this TED Talk business, this is serious. I mean, I'm going to have to work full time on this. Oh, and there are all these rules. And thank you, Marty. And I love a note card. No note cards. No way, Jose. Has to be 15 to 18 minutes. But the bad news about the TED Talk is, and I really hated to say this, they no tickets. So when they announced that TEDx was coming to Cary, they're evidently like people that are crazy TEDx people. Like, they love it. In the end of August, they announced there's going to be TEDx, and normally TEDx puts a limit of 100 people. And I guess what I was told is they figure if there are only 100 people there and it's live and it doesn't go well, then the whole world doesn't get to see it, right? Because I think it live streams maybe. Well, TEDx said, we're going to make an exception. You can have as many people as you want. So they put it's at SAS, which is awesome. And they say, okay, we're going to have 250 people or whatever. Well, then the tickets sold out within 10 minutes. And they hadn't even announced speakers. And I remember seeing and the tickets are $50. And I was like, would you really pay $50 and you don't even know who the hell you're going to see? But people do. So then they move it to the biggest auditorium at SAS. So now they have 400 seats. So each speaker gets the opportunity to buy 4 tickets, which obviously we have family members. And my plan is to give one of my tickets. We're going to somehow, if you're a supporter of mine, we will be, one lucky supporter will get a ticket, which is exciting. And then, so anyway, it's a big deal. I'm real excited. And that's it. I got nothing else. Prozac, Mark Johnson, West Virginia, TED Talk. Me in the bed for a few hours watching Dateline. That's all my excitement. So, there you have it. If you'd like to be a supporter and you're not one, you would like your $5 a month. I guarantee you waste $5 on some sort of crap. We have a lot of fun. Yes, we do. A lot of fun. And you get shirts like this that say Free Adrian or Cease and Desist. Where is Big Thomas? Big Thomas is playing tennis because, you know, that's what he likes to do. Oh, I know. The dog. So we have really exciting news. I've told my supporters about this, but I hadn't told everybody else. Didn't you hear, Dana? We have a home visit scheduled with Paws for People about Amos's service dog on Amos's birthday. We are tickled to pieces. I'm not like sharing anything on social media about it. There are lots of rules about social media. I don't want to get in trouble. I ain't saying nothing about nothing. Doesn't mean I can't talk about it, but I want to follow their rules. So they'll come on Amos's 6th birthday, get a gander at our family. And if we meet the smell test, I think we'll be starting, the whole dog thing. We're tickled with that. So for those of y'all that don't know, Paws for People is an organization out of Wilmington, North Carolina. And they do dogs for people that have PTSD, people with disabilities, some healthcare providers. So if you're a pediatrician or a teacher, you might have a service dog, and you're the handler. So I will be the handler for the dog, not Amos. So the dog will listen to me, but the idea is that the dog will help Amos in a variety of ways. And through the American with Disabilities Act, a service animal has to perform 3 tasks that you say the person needs. And so for Amos, it will help with settling him down, like the Prozac kind of thing. The dog will anchor, kind of give him some of that physical support. The dog will be help him with transitions, which are really hard for him, like getting up in the morning to go to school, that kind of stuff. So the wait list is usually so long for them. So they don't have a wait list there. You either get a yes or no. And so that's kind of interesting. And the dogs are free, but you have to commit to, they call it a pay it forward campaign, where you commit to raising $10,000. Now, if you don't raise the money, you still get the dog. So that could be actually cash or sweat equity. You might go to their events. You do whatever you can to share about their organization. Because I think the dogs end up being worth maybe about $70,000 a piece by the time their training and everything is done. But it's just been an amazing organization, and it is no joke. They take it very seriously, and I'm excited. I've learned a lot. I thought a service dog, and really as Amos has gotten older, I'm we're trying to help Amos in a whole span of ways. And I think we have a service dog, we have medicine, we have classroom support, and then we have a therapist. I think all those pieces are going to really help him be the best Amos he can be, not one alone. Well, that's my current thinking. Ask me in a month what I think. Last year we had it pretty easy and we didn't even know it. It just sort of sailed along. So anyway, carry on, people. Supporters, my husband has agreed to do a video with y'all later, so I'll keep you posted on what time that is. Those of you who don't know, when my husband does videos, they're real good. The last time he did one at the beach, he threw a live cockroach on me. It was crawling on the wall and just, pew. almost 17 years of marriage. My mother yesterday was like, I mean, it's like it was yesterday. I was like, yesterday? I don't know if it feels like yesterday. Maybe last month. No, just kidding. Y'all have a good Saturday. Enjoy this cool weather.